Previously on Retro Review of Sonic Adventure 2. Retro sent Shimoda Brian to hell because Shimoda just insulted him for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why he did it. Anyway, Shimoda has been stuck in hell for a good amount of time. I think 6 months or something like that. So far, things look off. But suddenly, Mega Silver 3000 fell down from the ground. The two decide to wander around in a shop called A Hell Below. It's basically Fire Below, but it's filled with hell. Anyway, in this shop, they acquired a game made by Satan himself, Mortal Kombat 9.
Any decent games you got here?
Well, we got Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh, I'll take that, we'll take that.
No, fuck you! You can have this piece of garbage instead. I heard it's a really good game in art, so here.
I have nothing else to say except we made a mistake. So, let's roll that review. And yes, I couldn't finish the Gmon animation. Sorry. If there's one genre I love the most, and it's certainly a genre that is my favorite, it's definitely the fighting game genre. A genre which is, well, a lot of things for me, but more or less it's my favorite genre because, you get to beat people up. And, you get some cool characters out of it. But what fighting games come first in your head? Well, I'm pretty sure one of them comes right ahead. The one who created the genre, Street Fighter. Specifically Street Fighter 2, which most people remember nowadays. There's also Tekken, which popularized the 3D fighting games. Soul Calibur, its sister series. There's Darkstalkers and a bunch of other dead Capcom fighting games. We're not going to go over them because that'll be too much. SNK's King of Fighters, or Arc System Works' many anime fighters like Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. But there is one fighting game that is possibly more talked about in the West. Mortal Kombat, a series that's currently today now being developed by the Netherrelm studio people. And boy do they suck! Now, I know what you're all thinking. What could possibly be wrong with Netherrelm Studios? You may be going there's nothing but quality games, right? That's what you're saying, right?
If only that were true. Now we all know that Netherrelm games get such positive ratings from websites such as IGN and Game Informer.
And Netherrelm Studio fanboys.
And they always get away with Fighting Game of the Year awards every single year. Even during the ones where they just re-release old shit. So obviously they must be a competent game development studio, right? Right?
Now I know some of you people are going to say, oh, you're just fans of the 3D era games. To make this clear, I have only played Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. However, Silver does have Armageddon, which is the 7th entry in Mortal Kombat series. I don't know about his opinion, but I'm not going to really comment much. But aside from Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, the only games I played are from Netherrelm Studios. All of them, except for the phones. Well, of course, how did Mortal Kombat get here? Let's go back in time and see when Mortal Kombat was first introduced to the world of gaming. The first Mortal Kombat game made its debut in 1992, only in North America for arcades. Europe would eventually get a taste of it with the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo. And as for Japan, they only got the Super Nintendo version.
Huh. I wonder why.
And well, would you want to guess this? It wasn't even going to be Mortal Kombat.
What?
At first, it was initially going to be an adaptation of a film. Can't recall the name. What was it, Silver?
I think it was Universal Soldier. Yeah.
However, the actor of the film never did show up. So John Tobias said, hey guys, let's go with my idea. And so with only 4 people developing this game, with 8 to 10 months of development time, 6 of those months without the name of the game, and making actors going digital, we gained a thing called Mortal Kombat.
And so, Mortal Kombat was a huge success, especially on the Mega Drive / Genesis since the SNES version was censored and all. And although this game was a success, it did also lead to controversy due to its extreme violence. And so, this game along with other violent video games such as Night Trap, led to the creation of the ESRB. And eventually for us Europeans we have the PEGI rating system.
And so, Mortal Kombat remained to be Midway's killer app for nearly 2 decades. But unfortunately, it all came to an end when they died from bankruptcy. With Midway gone bankrupt, properties from Midway like Mortal Kombat and Rampage were of course acquired by Warner Bros. You know, the guys who own Batman. I'm Batman.
Is that a habit?
Do you consider it a hobby when you do a Spider-Man or Sonic?
And so, the Mortal Kombat team was then re-established as Netherrelm Studios in April 2010.
Wait, was this game in made 1 year?
Yep, it certainly seems that way. A mere 1 year after being revived as Netherrelm Studios, they shot out Mortal Kombat 9. By 2013, the game had sold close to 4 million copies, and of course, since it's Mortal Kombat, it also received very good reviews from critics and fans.
So, you may be asking, why do we have an issue with Mortal Kombat and Netherrelm Studios' many problems?
Well, let us explain.
So, let's dive right into Mortal Kombat 9. So the story itself is basically a retelling of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. The end. Ugh, okay, fine. So, our totally revolutionary story that influenced many fighting games began with a bunch of dead people who I and Silver couldn't give a fuck about. Let's just go through the list. Let's see, we got head split, legless, a hug, ice sword, and a head. Wait a minute. No, you bastard!
No!
You bastard! You killed him!
Why?
You killed him!
Why did you take Johnny Cage?
You could have taken anyone else, but no, you killed Johnny Cage. Why? 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 Why did you kill him? Why isn't Quan Chi dead? Oh, he is dead. Never mind.
So after seeing all of these dead bastards and our Lord and Savior Johnny Cage, we see a pillar of fire and then...
Oh god, I'm so weak, even though I'm Raiden.
Where's your pitiful elder gods, Raiden?
Whoops! Wrong footage. This is from our fan dub.
You should watch it right now.
So we witness Raiden being bullied by Shao Kahn, and we cannot tell whether he is trying to punch Raiden or slap him because he has his fists clenched as if he is ready to punch him, but he's swinging his arms around, which is not how you punch someone.
You know, this might be a sign of how bad the animation is with NetherRealm Studios.
He then proceeds to break his amulet, which costed him a pack of peanuts. As Shao Kahn prepares to end Raiden's life, he sends a message to his past self about the coming events.
And take a good guess what he said.
He must win.
So, instead of giving useful and specific information that past Raiden can use to avoid the coming events, future Raiden instead decides to be a dick to his past self and only gives as little information as possible. Good fucking job, you dickhead!
And you know what? Up until that point, this opening was actually alright, minus the death of our boy Johnny Cage, but for the most part it was a pretty decent opening, until Raiden gave himself a piss poor message. What a great fucking way to start this game's story mode. So after Khan took 5 years to give Raiden his peanuts back, with a hammer, we then see a flash of images, and we're back to the past, to Mortal Kombat 1.
And then past Raiden notices that his amulet has been damaged, and what is his response?
Nah, it's probably nothing.
And so, we are introduced to the next problem we have with this game, along with the rest of NetherRealm Studio games. The fucking chapter system.
Well, before we do that, let's look at the pros. Okay, now let's go and look at the cons.
Now, what is wrong with this method of storytelling in a video game, you might ask?
Well, first, since you're playing as different characters, their power levels are inconsistent.
Take our boy Johnny Cage, for example. In the first chapter, he dominates all of his opponents, but then after that, he just becomes a punching bag.
Don't believe us? Well, here's a quick montage of how much he sucks after chapter 1.
Cyrax wins. Jax wins.
Oh, not convinced? Well, let me add this salt. In Chapter 7, Smoke fights against Katana. Naturally, Smoke is able to win against Katana. In the end, somewhere in between Chapter 8, Katana took on another opponent and, well, yeah, she didn't finish him off, but still, she was able to win. Then, at the beginning of Chapter 9, her chapter to be specific, she then goes up against Smoke and Johnny. Yeah, fatigue or whatever, but it should be noted that at least Smoke and Johnny have plenty of time to at least get some strength back. But even so, the stupid part is that again, Smoke was able to beat Katana, I don't know, like a few minutes earlier, which unfortunately kind of makes the story a bit unrealistic. And not to mention, Johnny is kind of good. So naturally the fight really should be more that Katana be a loser. But no, these two are just too pathetic. It doesn't really make it better that also the villains are, you know, pathetic pieces of shit.
Let us see if Smoke can freeze.
They have no wins, and no, I don't count stealth kills or just one automatic hit attack. Second, forced fights. Because the developers made it 4 fights, and not however is needed, of course, they have to stretch it out, or, you know the term, shoehorn in fights. For example, when Jax wants to just punch Johnny Cage for, you know, just asking about what's his relation with Sonya. We'll get more into that, why that sucks further.
And finally, you're forced to play as a specific character in each chapter. Oh, what's that? You don't like playing as Cyrax? Well, too fucking bad you have to. Oh, what's this? You've gotten used to playing as this character? Well, tough shit unfortunately, because now you gotta play as this character and you will never get to play as that character you liked ever again. How wonderful. So for our first chapter of our epic adventure, we start off with an actually awesome character who has won over our hearts for actually having a personality. And his name is Johnny Cage! So after Raiden disregards the fact that his amulet broke, the Mortal Kombat tournament commences!
So what exactly is the Mortal Kombat tournament, you might be asking? Well, you see, it's where a bunch of assholes beat the ever-living shit out of each other because they don't want their realms to be merged because, you know, the Elder Gods are fucking useless. I mean, Elder Gods, it's not like you have to protect the realms and, you know, don't want one being to exist again because, you know, what happens if Shao Kahn has all 9 realms or something? I don't know how many realms there are, but still, you could do your job better. I don't know, like, this fucking series could have done better. Jesus, there's so many other fighting games that are much better with their story. I don't care. This is so crazy. My head's going crazy. Like, you know.
Hell, Mortal Kombat? Just watch it? Yes!
Okay, we are getting off topic here. Back to this train wreck of a story mode. So we play as Johnny Cage, who faces off against Lizard Man and Wolverine knockoff, and we learn that Johnny doesn't like killing people. Huh, interesting.
A Mortal Kombat character that doesn't kill. That's interesting. That should mean that he doesn't have any fatalities, right? Right?
And the award goes to...
You had one job.
Johnny Cage wins. Fatality.
One job.
So then Johnny fights Sonya because we've gotta have forced unnecessary fights in this game. And then he fights Netherrelm's favorite punching bag, Kano.
So Johnny gives Sonya a hand and she tells them the story of how Kano cucked the military. And Johnny believes everything is real because Sonya's from the military, not the Lizard Man or Wolverine. Okay then, sure, why not?
So then we move on to Sonya Blade's chapter where she is trying to free Jax, who somehow got captured off screen. She then gets confronted by Shang-Chi, who summons Sub-Zero. Wait, not that one, that one. She kicks his ass and then fights Raiden because of her stupid trust issues. Despite getting the shit beaten out of him, Raiden helps Sonya by blinding Shang Tsung, allowing her to free Jax. Yay. And then all of a sudden they are teleported outside. And then she has to fight Jade and Katana at the same goddamn time!
Alright, problem number fucking 4. Tag battles. So as you no doubt guessed, this is where you get to face off not one, but two opponents. Now, normally in tag team mode this isn't bad because of course you also got a partner. You can choose another character as well. You can choose two characters yourself. But the story mode, oh no. It is designed to screw you over since you have to fight two AI opponents. It is fucking bullshit. It's not really fair. Like, who designed this? Who thought, oh yeah, sure, let's do that. I mean, it's not like it's a stupid idea. It's not like it could also piss off players. Whoever thought of this stupid idea should have been thrown out the door. We didn't see a helicopter. It explodes by Shang No. Then Punching Bag gets owned once again. Nothing new here, folks. Sonya tries to kill him off, but Shang Tsung interrupts, and Kano gets to live, even though he serves no purpose. Anyway, then Raiden heals Jax.
Whoa, he has healing abilities?
I honestly don't know, but I don't really care because they don't really use it in gameplay. Moving on.
So for our next character of our adventure, we have good old Scorpion, who cannot decide for the life of him what command inputs he wants to use for his iconic spear attack.
Isn't that everyone in Netherrelm Studio games?
Yeah, but I guess it's the most apparent with Scorpion since that attack is so iconic and Netherrelm Studios keep having to change it every game for no goddamn reason.
Silver, is it the story or are we gonna be here all day?
Okay, so Scorpio enters the Mortal Kombat tournament with the intent of killing B-Hog, and Raiden has more visions of the future, one with Kung Lao fighting off Baraka, which becomes completely irrelevant, and one where Scorpion rips Sub-Zero's head off. Scorpion fights Kung Lao and Nightwolf, not at the same time thank god, and Raiden tries to convince Scorpion not to kill Sub-Zeros. And how does he do that, you may ask? Hey Scorpion, so I know you're angry and all, but can you not kill Sub-Zero?
No. I am going to kill him because I need to kill him. He's a dick. I mean, not only did he kill my clan, not only did he kill my wife and my child, he also killed my dog. My fucking dog!
He also took my balls.
Wait, seriously, he took your balls at Colonel? How did they do that?
Well, you see, they just took the hand and yanked it out.
So he froze your balls and then took it away? I knew it. Sub-Zero was much worse, so I see no reason. This is a win. If we kill him, he's gone.
If you spare his life, I will talk to the Elder Gods.
You really think you're gonna talk to them? You know they're stupid, don't you?
I swear, the Elder Gods can bring your clan back, and all you need to do is not kill him. You can fight him if you want, take your anger out on him all you want, but just don't kill him. Please?
As long as they're not zombies, that's a good fight. I'll consider it.
I think he said yes!
3 hours later.
What did you do?
Is the offer still up?
We then move on to Cyrax. Wait, he had a chapter? I kind of forgot, nothing fucking important happens. So moving on. So after nothing happens, we then move to the end of Mortal Kombat 1. I know, so fast. Let me hold your hand. With Chapter 5, Liu Kang. So, he fights a big era. So Blue Female Ninja decides to try and kill Liu Kang Skywalker, and fails despite possibly being 1,000 years old. I mean, when you consider that, yeah, I don't know, this is somewhat weird. I know I'm taking a guess, but yeah, that's what I think. I think that's how old she is. I'm not sure.
So Liu Kang spares Katana since he doesn't kill. Oh wow, we haven't seen this aspect of his character since Mortal Kombat 1. I hope they don't screw this one up.
Falcon Punch!
God damn it! Next he fights Scorpio and Quan Kratos at the same time because that's fun. He then fights Goro in a super easy fight. Huh, it was too easy. I wonder who's gonna fight Shang-Chi.
Shang Tsung, only one fight remains. Face me in Mortal Kombat.
So be it.
Wait, what? An extra fight?
Oh my, They can't even follow their own rules. So you think they will break it again, Negasilva?
Oh, relax. I don't think this will ever happen again. I'm sure this is a one-time thing.
So Lord Kang beats up Shang Sung, and Earthrealm is saved. Kano pisses off to Outworld, with female Sub-Zero looking at Kang Cook. I don't care, I'm keeping that in. And he nods. Then, by the Elder Gods, the amulet cracks more.
Oh no! What could possibly be going wrong?
We see Shao Kahn about to kill Chi of Shang, until Sung convinces Shao an idea. We then cut to Kang Luke getting congratulated. Raiden then asks was selling his peanuts worth the amulet. Jax gives a response saying,
Got me.
classic line from anybody, but says Liu Kang met Shang Tsung like a chump. You know, Netherrelm Studios, if you just decided to stop using this damn system known as the chapter system, you wouldn't have this problem. I mean, everyone wouldn't look like a fucking weakling because, you know, everyone is a weakling.
So anyway, Shank Skunk proposes to Raisins that they have another tournament, and Raisins says no. And Shang Tung creates an Avengers portal scene 8 years before Endgame came out, summoning a bunch of Barakas, and Jax fights them off. And what is with these sound effects? These actually sound like wet towel sound effects, am I right?
Netherrelm Studios, can you not think of other ways to improve your budget, you know? You could do so much more. But no, you just really don't know how to use that budget of yours. You never will be able to, and I don't think you ever will. I just don't understand. Sorry, what were you saying, Silver?
Wait, were you ranting this whole time?
Yeah. Back to the plot? So Jojo wakes up to learn that Sonya Nevermind was kidnapped, and old Joseph Joestar sees Captain Luke do a poor man's attempt of Falcon Punch in his vision, and says that Luke must not fight Khan Chao. And so, old Jojo has accepted his family legacy of fighting a Khan of the dead. And Beam Light shows up for no reason whatsoever, and they head off. Oh yeah, by the way, Silver didn't mention this, but we're now in Mortal Kombat 2.
God damn it!
So, we get another jarring scene.
Jackson Storm fast walks and fights Who Cares, and then Raiden gets a vision of Sonya about to die. So then they gotta save her, but instead they get lost in the armory because his power isn't reliable in Outworld?
So Jax is looking for Sonya with whatever attack, and Johnny was thinking about how the scenery looks kind of like one of his movies. But yet Jax is like, shut up, I'm trying to find Sonya. And then Johnny goes like, so what's your relation with Sonya? And like Jax is, it's nothing, she's just Commander in that. And then Johnny was like, hey, maybe I should take her out then. But then Jax just goes like, stop, no. But then like Johnny says it again, and then, you know, Jax just goes like, you serious? I said shut up about it. Like, it feels like this scene is weird. Like, if you're saying that Jax is not interested in Sonya, then clearly, yeah, he shouldn't act like that's an issue. But like, I don't know, this scene is just a question of who the hell made this. And yeah, maybe Jax is right to actually punch Johnny, but at the same time, it is Johnny Cage, our Lord and Savior. So fuck no, he's not allowed to do it. He shouldn't have done that. No, it's Johnny motherfucking Cage.
Raiden, like an angry parent, tells Jax to stop punching Johnny, and then Jax fights the Green Ninja. And afterwards, he gives a half-ass apology to Johnny for beating the ever-living shit out of him. And Johnny is just like, don't worry about it, it's fine.
Then they make their way to the sewers of acid. And what the fuck are these? Like, these things look ugly. Like, what's that on their chest? Why are they blindfolded? Is this a weird thing? What is happening here?
Well, whatever they are, Jax suddenly leaps over them as if he were Superman, and beats up the most useless character in this game's story, and then rescues Sonya.
Sonya's device tracks 2 technological signals, even though it makes no fucking sense when you see who they are. And Raiden goes with the logic that they must be the ones who wins. Future Raiden? Fuck you. Oh yeah, and young Raiden? Do you have a brain at all? So then we see the source of the tech energy is from Big Smoke and Fun. Wait, isn't that Subway?
Okay, but seriously, do these ninjas have phones? Smartwatches? Smart masks? Oh, by the way, we are now in Big Smoke's chapter. And he and Subway Zero are looking for Subway Zero's killer. And not that one, that one. Sub-Zero walks off into the foreground, and may I remind you, they are on a beach. And Smoke is confronted by Kit Kat Katana, who is shouting, and Sub-Zero doesn't even hear her.
Hey, Netherrelm Studios, you know that 1 versus 2 gimmick you like using in this damn game? Wouldn't it be more helpful if you like give the player a teammate for like 1 match or something? Like, you know, that would've been cool. It might have been nice for a change. No? You don't care? Okay, then screw you then! So Big Smoke gives Katana a lullaby and fucks off to the woods. He then witnesses Kano selling Shang-Chi Mortal Kombat, the rocket launcher. You know, the merchandise of Mortal Kombat, merchandise.
But not only that, we've got Mortal Kombat the t-shirt!
Mortal Kombat the hat.
Mortal Kombat the floor mat!
Mortal Kombat the toast.
Mortal Kombat the toilet seat!
Mortal Kombat the game show.
Mortal Kombat the cereal! Mortal Kombat the...
So, Smoke decides to confront Shang Tsung, and Kano attacks with no charge, no rocket launcher, and as usual, Kano is a loser. It's me, Wario. Sorry, I just had to do that.
Shang Tsung turns into Sub-Zero 1 and says this.
Let us see if Smoke can freeze.
What? What the fuck? Who wrote this line? Who wrote this line? Who's gonna have to explain themselves?
So, as expected, Smokey defeats Shang-Chi and the Lizard. And then gets hit by nothing like... oh no, it was Sector, who was invisible and is now a cyborg. And is as deadly as a teddy bear. So you'll be fine. So Smoker proves to Sector his iOS update were useless, and is about to leave. He then gets ambushed by a bunch of grey Cyraxes with Sector's hair, I think, and so they trap him. But Ray Dude saves his ass.
You will not take my peanuts!
So we then switch to Mr. Freeze, who beats up a waste of space and meets Sonya and Jax, who tells him that his brother was killed by Gil!
But then Ermac wakes up because they interrupted their nap and takes their anger out on Jax by ripping off his arms. You could have helped out there, Sonya. I'm just saying. And then he gets slapped by Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero then heads for the Coliseum, but not before showing how much of a dick he is.
But I need your help to get
There's a
him.
portal to the south. You can use it to transport yourselves back to Earthrealm.
Mother.
So we enter Wario's Coliseum and witness the worst choreographed fight sequence ever. Sub-Zero then fights Reptile because Netherrelm Studios like padding out game time. After defeating Reptile, Sub-Zero demands Shao Kahn to bring forth Scorpion so that he can avenge his brother's death. And Shao Kahn, after being amused by him defeating Reptile, he complies with his request, and Quan Chi summons Scorpio. Scorpio is not too happy to see a Sub-Zero standing. Koi Lang claims that he is the younger brother of Beehive and that he is here to avenge his brother's death. And Scorpion tells him that he had no honor and that he will die as he did. Sub-Zero successfully defeats the Xbox Scorpio, and just as he is about to finish him, he is then captured by the Cyberling Quay, and this time Raisins doesn't do a damn thing about it. And Cyrax and Sextor negotiate with Shao Kahn to take away Sub-Zero in exchange for their services. Shao Kahn agrees to these terms and allows them to take away Sub-Zero.
And Shao Kahn gets very pissy with Katana for not being able to kill a ninja. She is dismissed, and Dumb Raiden thinks he can help her. But Cage knows what will really happen, and Smoke is sad. Anyway, Katana and Jay do a contest for being the baddest bitch to each other. Like how Katana wants to be alone, and how Jade says that she needs to live up to her father's expectations. Then Jade leaves, only for Raiden and his friends to show up so that they could talk. Except the bitch doesn't want to talk, and Smoke decides to engage a fight with her along with Johnny, even though that's not what Raiden wants. You stupid motherfucker. You are a fool, Smoke. A fool.
And Katana effortlessly defeats both Smoke and Johnny Cage, even though Smoke had no problem defeating her like 2 fucking chapters ago. After that, Raiden tells Katana that she is more like her mother Zindel before suddenly getting a vision of which is not relevant till Mortal Kombat 3.
Man, fuck this game!
When he wakes up from his vision, he tells Katana to go to Shang Tsung's Pit of Doom! And that she has to discover her path all by herself. So yeah, Raiden is an idiot and a dick in both the past and the future. And Katana is just like, okay, I believe you. So Katana enters the woods, and no surprise to her, she is confronted by Jade, since she blindly follows Shu Kahn's McDonald's orders.
I'll have 2 number 9s!
Oh, and Katana beats Jade.
I tried to warn you.
Bitch, you didn't. So now Katana heads to the flesh pits and witnesses a horrible sight and meets Mileena, who doesn't look relatively similar to Katana. But then the man who created the second best character shows up, and it's Shang Tsung. Oh my. Very shocking, I don't care. And after beating him up, she drags him by the hair of his chinny chin to Khan for judgment for cloning her. But to be honest, I prefer Mileena over Katana any day, and honestly, I think Katana wasn't wrong. I mean, she says that Mileena attacked her, even though really, Katana actually attacked her. Like, she doesn't know that Mileena might have wanted to actually just play a game or two, you know? How do you know that, Katana? How would you know?
And to no one's surprise, Shao Kahn was well aware of this and approves of it. But to our surprise, he reveals that he is well aware of this and approves of it. What the fuck? And he even admitted that he's not actually Katana's father. Are you kidding me? You could have just kept your mouth shut and Katana would still be loyal to you. But nope! The writers thought it would be a better idea to make him an absolute dumbass!
What makes it worse is that Shao Kahn was much smarter back in the Midway timeline. He had agile tactics. For example, it was revealed in the backstory of Mortal Kombat Deception, he was an advisor for Onaga, who was much stronger than him. But he didn't want to be some advisor, he wanted to rule Outworld. So, knowing that he couldn't beat him, he poisoned Onaga. Want more? Okay, let's go a little further. After losing in Mortal Kombat 2, in MK3, he revives his wife Sindel in Earthrealm because there's a loophole, which allows him to go to Earthrealm and allow him to invade. But, if you want to take a general takeaway from this, the point stands as this. He's not a dumb fuck. And it's not really a good thing that he is the main villain of this game. You know what? Screw this, actually. Let's take a break and actually talk about some actual good villains from other games and possibly even movies. So, spoiler alerts for the Danganronpa series. Let's talk about the main villain of the series, Junko Enoshima. And well, you know, for most of Danganronpa 1, you only talk to her through Monokuma. It's only until the end of the game do you finally meet her. And we'll learn why she's no ordinary schoolgirl. And now, allow me to list out the horrible things she has included. First off, she has caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Also known as making the world go to shit by causing despair. Brainwashing an entire class to extend her rampage. Created these bears, these deadly Monokuma bears that are able to explode, you know, have claws, and quite capable of many forms. Well, it can't transform, but yeah. She was in a shelter that was supposed to protect her and her classmates, but instead turned that shelter into hell by erasing her classmates' memories and forcing them into a death game. She killed some of her classmates with executions, and, well, not all of them, but yeah. And oh yeah, she killed her own sister because fuck plans. And to top it off, she does it because either A, she's bored, B, because she wants to see people feel despair or See, I'm not sure. But yeah, she's one of the few villains I can think at the top of my head that is the most fucked up. The only other few villains I can think at the top of my head that are quite as interesting to her is Mephiles and Hazama from BlazBlue. Those are the only other two villains I can think at the top of my head that are quite fucked up. And there's also Hades from Kid Icarus Uprising. Man, that guy is great. But I mean, I haven't played Kid Icarus Uprising in a while. Why don't we hear you, Silver?
Another character I would say is much better written than Shao Kahn is Thanos. He at first seems like a reckless murderer, but we learn about his reasons. His planet died from overpopulation and a lack of resources, and he wants to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And he wants to do so by wiping out half the universe. Is it the right solution? Fuck no! But we can at least understand why he is the way he is, which is what makes him one of the best villains in cinematic history.
Okay, that's cool. But you got any video game villains you could talk about?
Fine. Bowser. Sure, he doesn't have much strategy-wise, but he keeps getting up after being beaten, so he at least has determination. And as simple of a villain as he is, he's still way better than this stupid piece of shit. Even Mephiles from Sonic 06 is a better villain than him.
Hey gamers! Were you talking about Fortnite? No, I'm not even gonna pretend you were talking about Fortnite. I just really love bringing up my favorite game whenever I can.
Whoops, I accidentally grabbed footage from another fan dub.
Not our one, obviously, but a great one.
Mephiles is a pretty good villain because he's able to manipulate Silver into trying to kill Sonic. And he almost managed to turn Shadow to the dark side by showing him that humanity was going to betray him. And he actually manages to kill Sonic, causing Elise to release the Flames of Disaster, and he destroys the entire space-time continuum. Or takes over the space-time continuum. Whatever.
And I thought you forgot 06. But I at least remember Mephiles. Unlike Wait, what was his name again?
Well, I think we can agree that 06 as a whole was more memorable than... Wait, what game were we talking about again?
Really, you forgot? We were talking about, Ah, shit. I forgot what we were talking about, too. Wanna play Rabbits Go Home? Here's a few more villains that we also think are quite good as well. And you know, are better than Shao Kahn.
So anyways, back to the story. Gosh, this is taking forever.
I wish I was in hell, but we're in hell and we're still suffering.
So Shao Cupcake Khan orders Kitana to be executed, and she just gets escorted away like someone who is getting kicked out of a shopping mall. Isn't Kitana supposed to be a trained ninja? Jade then goes through the hassle to try and save her, only to not save her.
Go. Find Raiden. Ask for his help.
What?
Wow, another pointless chapter.
So Jade fights Melina and then runs into Raiden and the boys.
And Big Smoke mistakes Jade for attacking Melina as Kitana because he lacks a brain like most of these other characters in this train wreck of a story mode. It seems like he might either be colorblind or just doesn't really see the difference. Is he just not good at really seeing things carefully? You stupid motherfucker. You are a fool, Smoke. A fool.
After that pointless fight, Jade tells them that Kitana is gonna die.
You know, Jade, you could have used that brain if you were to save her. And you know what? Just for you developers, you could have just switched the orders of events in this chapter and then it would have been fine. But no, someone thought this order worked better. So then we switch to Kung Lao and fight Beehive and Goro. And funny thing, Liu Kang is struggling against Shiva, who is the most pathetic fighter in this story. Oh, and better yet, we get to hear more horrible sound effects. Seriously, is this Mortal Kombat or Wet Towel fight? So then Liu Kang and Kung Lao arrive to the tournament, and Raiden is telling Liu Kang he cannot fight, and that he needs to find the chosen one. But Liu Kang says that he's not the one who'll win. And so Kung Lao will go on to fight. He fights against Shang Tsung and Quan Chi.
No Earthrealm boy can stop this deadly alliance.
God, I wish I was playing Deadly Alliance instead of this shite.
Kung Lao defeats these two and then Tiny Tiger, and then is killed by Shao Kahn.
Oh no. Anyway,
After an annoying as fuck boss fight, Liu Kang then finishes him off with a Falcon Punch!
So much for him being a pacifist.
And that seems to be it. The story is finished. Finally! This took forever. Now we can finally move on to the gameplay.
It cannot be. Shao Kahn is dead. Yet the future remains unchanged.
Oh, you have got to be shitting me!
Welcome to Mortal Kombat 3's story. Enjoy pain and torture! So as we enter the third chunk of this story, the Legion of Doom are discussing who should take over from Shao Kahn. After all, he was Falcon Punch in the fucking chest! Although, they're in Outworld and there's the Netherrelm, so they possibly have magic to heal him, you know?
Speaking of the devil, he is actually completely fine. Why? Because Netherrelm Studios want us to suffer for longer.
Oh god damn it, they just had to change it. It was from above his chest and now it's on his chest. Netherrelm Studios do not know consistency. Oh wait, they don't. And I clearly remember that at the end of his fight with Lucas Kang, his armor was damaged. Probably he got a new skull from possibly the many people he killed.
Kratos suggests invading Earthrealm and resurrects Shao Kahn's wife Sindel from the dead, and then proceeds to mind control her because good is dumb. So then we move on to Striker's chapter. He and Cabal are witnessing Shao Kahn's army invading Earthrealm. Stryker fights Dr. Lizard Connors and Melina. He then meets Raiden and watches him assist Johnny Cage fighting what the fuck is this character's name? He then meets Raiden and watches him assist Johnny Cage in fighting Motaro, even though they weren't there like less than 30 fucking seconds ago. Oh yeah, funny enough, one of Raiden's earliest visions in the game is Johnny Cage being killed by Motaro. And in this scene, he seems to be preventing that. Huh, that's actually a neat detail. Credit where credit is due.
Then the kitty cat shows up and burns Cabal alive. So much for shoot first, ask questions later. And naturally, Stryker puts the cat to sleep. Then, It's No Use shows up to throw Stryker into the subway and he falls onto the train tracks. Wait, what was I thinking? This is Netherrelm Studios! They need to make their villains not win at all. And also stupid. So yeah, instead of just killing him, Ermac instead destroys possibly Stryker's dick. And well, then just get punched to death. So yeah, needless to say, Stryker just wins, even though it should make no fucking sense.
He then meets Nightwolf, who proposes to him to join the Avengers to save Earthrealm, and that Raisins, the Peanut Master, is their last hope. Even though he's been doing a damn fine job so far. And somehow Stryker is familiar with the term Earthrealm, even though Nightwolf never mentioned it once. They then head back to where Cabal was burned to a crisp, and surprise, he wasn't there at all. Nightwolf suggests that he went to get help, but Stryker notes that he was too badly banged up.
Perhaps he has gone to find help. Nah, he was way too banged up.
Don't you mean too badly burned?
We see Kano putting on a few things on Cabal as he wakes up. Kano explains to Cabal that Shang Tsung was able to heal everything except his lungs. For some fucking reason. Explain the logic here. Shao Kahn was able to come back from the dead thanks to Quan Chi. But Shang Tsung, he couldn't possibly prepare those lungs? What the fuck, Netherrelm Studios? So the things on Cabal are permanent, they cannot be removed otherwise he dies. Kano gives Cabal his hook swords, but he refuses. But Kano reminds Cabal the times he was back in the Black Dragon. And Cabal is saying, I don't give a fuck anymore, and attacks Kano with the hook swords. You really thought this through now, did ya, Netherrelm Studios? Did ya? He then attempts to confront Shao Kahn, but is thwarted by Melina and Berry Beehive. Oh, and Shao Kahn's favorite horse is dead! So Shang Hobo is prepared to help, but he wasn't prepared to die. And he gives the power to Sindel, even though it's gonna make no fucking sense later since she's getting strong, since apparently she's gonna get stronger physically, but not magically. Oh, for fuck's sake, fuck this game! And he gives this power to Sindel, even though it makes no sense since she's getting stronger physically, but not magically. I guess, trust me, this will be important later.
He then makes his escape back to Earthrealm and in the process discovers his unlimited speed! He's then confronted by Sub-Zero because his portal license expired 5 years ago. He beats him along with Shiva because she can't tell the difference between a human and a machine. And Netherrelm Studios just can't help themselves and have to have 4 fights per chapter. Cabal meets Raiden and Smoke, who can't seem to run properly, and Raiden decides to be a dick by saying Sub-Zero is as good as gone. But Cabal, having some common sense, says they can at least try to help him. Moving on to Iron Sub-Zero's chapter, he is freed from the control of the Lin Kuei's network, and he decides to assist Raiden's team of idiots and Johnny in the fight against Shao Kahn.
So Raisin's man thinks Sub-Zero should sit back because changing events for the future could fuck them in the ass. But Skytry says Zero Sub could blend in because he's a machine. But then again, it's not like he was put offline in the Liu Kang network. So he heads to Shang Kong's room. Sector asks if he captured Cabal, with Sub responding that
I fucking killed him.
And then they head to the subway. And less than 2 minutes, count it, 2 minutes! He is discovered and Zero beats the red machine to get info from him. Thus he heads off to the church. I'd rather be in church right now! Goro, Cat Goro, and Punching Bag have a bunch of soldiers lined up. They were not informed that Sub-Zero was a traitor for the rebellion, and the 2 armed men are defeated so easily. Then Big Mac shows up with a sudden wardrobe change. I know, weird. And loses for the 5 millionth time. Heading off to the graveyard site, Sub-Zero informs the idiots that Quan of Chi is performing a ritual. Raiden gets a vision of the Solnado, so the next character is heading to Sub-Zero's location, when he becomes fucking useless.
Sub-Zero approaches Quan Kratos and Noob mentions that they were warned by Kano, even though he was frozen in ice. Sub-Zero confronts Noob, who, surprise surprise, is Sub-Zero! What? After Barry B. Beehive says that they are no longer brothers, Iron Man says that he will not regret defeating him.
We are not brothers. Then I will not regret your defeat.
Shouldn't Behind be the one to say that since he's the one who started playing Shadow the Hedgehog? The 2 ex-brothers fight each other and Sub-Zero wins. No, the other one. Kratos then unleashes his Soul Tornado. Nightwing then steps in and we begin his chapter. He fights Kratos, but then he fucks off home after Barry B. Beehive gets sucked in the tornado. The tornado then suddenly disappears, and Nightwolf believes that they have won. And he heads off to meet up with the rest of the idiots. Sonya then suggests that Raiden was seeing possible futures and not the future. Nighty Wolf then arrives and gives them the good news that they won. Raisins then looks at his amulet and no surprise, it is further damaged.
Raiden decides this is stupid and heads off to talk to the Elder Gods to see if they can do anything. And takes Liu Kang because fuck it, the writers need plot convenience. He leaves Nightwolf in charge because why not, and Sub-Zero somehow can detect the Lin Kuei, even though he's not part of the network anymore. So they arrive and a brawl begins. Nightwolf takes care of pointless character chapter, and we see Smoke sucking, as usual, against Sector, as he's taken out easily. Also, Smoke doesn't look very beaten up if you get what I mean. And is he even punching correctly, actually?
Jeez, what is with this animation? I know he's supposed to be tired, but my god, this still doesn't look good.
Sector was about to kill Smoke, but Knife Wolf throws an axe and fights him. He wins. And now we shall show you the biggest, most awful, most disgusting scene in entertainment history. Sindel versus the good guys. So, what's wrong with this scene exactly? Oh, nothing, it's just that everything. Let's go by this one by one. First off, it's 1 versus 10. But somehow, by some miracle, Sindel was able to take them all out. And, kill some of them. And remember when I said this?
And he gives this power to Sindel, even though it makes no sense since she's getting stronger physically, but not magically.
So right off the bat, this doesn't make sense because Shao Kahn has given Sindel Shang Tsung's soul or powers or whatever. And this should not power up physically, it should make her magic prowess better. But no, for some reason, she's meant more stronger physically, but not magically. How does that make sense? Just how? Oh, but then there's our heroes. We have Sub-Zero, who can freeze shit. Stryker, who has a fucking gun. Big Smoke, who has smoke powers. Nightwolf, who can make weapons, I think. Yeah, he could do that. Katana and Jade, who are ninjas. Sonya and Jax are from the military. And Johnny Cage, a good character. They all still fucking lost to her. You know what they do? They all just take turns because they think they're in a fucking RPG. Fucking idiots. To top it off, she kills off 6 of these guys. 6 of these stupid fuckers. And loses to Nightwolf in a fair fight. Oh, and after Sindel kills Smoke, if you look very closely, you can see Smoke's body start sliding. I said this before, but this game is garbage.
Wow, I agree with you there. So Raiden and Liu Kang talk to the Elder Gods about the situation. Oh, sorry, my bad. Raiden talks to the Elder Gods about the situation. Again, what is the point of bringing Liu Kang along? Because he does nothing! So Raiden tells the Elder Gods how dire the situation is, and how the world is about to end, and what is the Elder Gods' solution to this? They do absolutely nothing about it! Even though Shao Kahn is invading Earthrealm and killing innocent people, the Elder Gods could not give 2 shits about what is happening because, oh, apparently Shao Kahn is not breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat. I will admit that I don't know a whole lot about the Mortal Kombat universe, but are you seriously trying to tell me that invading another planet, or I guess realm in this case, and killing countless innocent people does not count as being against the rules? Oh, but apparently merging of the realms is actually against the rules. But invading a realm is technically the same as merging a realm since Shao Kahn is taking it over. So technically, he is breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat tournaments, and he should be punished!
What? He invades Earthrealm as we speak.
Invasion is not itself a transgression. It is the merger of realms that is prescribed.
A distinction without a difference! Innocents are dying at the hands of Outworld!
You know, as much as I hate to admit it, you've got a very valid point, Raiden.
Yeah, this is the one scene where Raiden actually thinks like a fucking person for once. A shame that this is the only scene that really shows Raiden has a brain. Just to make it clear, I still hate Raiden. I don't care if he was given a shit hand from Dark Raiden. He still did some stupid things, so I don't care. So anyway, the Elder Gods pissed off from their home for some reason, and Liu Kang looks very angry at Raiden for some reason. The two return just in time for Nightwolf and Sindel to be dead. And Katana is still alive, but not for long. Just before she dies, she says that they wish they met in better circumstances. And yeah, well, she's dead.
Oh no! Anyway.
And Raiden says his heart is heavy with their sacrifices.
My heart too is heavy with their sacrifice.
Their deaths achieved nothing.
You know, that last scene convinced me that you could have had a bit of humanity. From the moment you thought that would work. It doesn't matter how you think about it, the way he just says that his heart is heavy with their sacrifices, it makes him really feel like he treats them like garbage or like pets. You're doing a good job, writers. You're doing a good job making Raiden look like a good character. He is not that good. And just to make it worse, Raiden thinks the best course of action is to ask Quan Chi for help. At this point, Liu Kang thinks the same thing me and Silver were thinking at that moment. Why? And Liu Kang is done with Raiden's shit. He helps out Sonya and Johnny. So Raiden says, may the Elder Gods watch over it. You just proven my point, you idiot! You are a stupid fuck, Raiden. You are not a human. You're just a cardboard. He thinks just going straight to the Netherrelm will be a good job, and he hopes the Elder Gods would watch over them, even though they're doing fuck all. This game has no common sense.
Raiden then heads to the Netherrelm to speak to Kratos and is confronted by Scorpion, who also went through a sudden wardrobe change, and his new outfit doesn't even look half as good as his previous one. Raiden demands to speak to Quan Chi, but Scorpion refuses to let him pass. Then Raiden decides to be a dick to Scorpion and tell him that he basically did nothing to save his family, even though he was stuck in the fucking Netherrealm after being killed by Barry B. Beehive. The two fight, Raiden wins, blah blah blah, and then finally convinces Scorpio to let him speak to Quan Chi, blah blah blah. I'm fucking tired of talking about this stupid fucking game. Raiden offers Quan Chi the souls of the dead and even his own if he were to die, in exchange for his assistance. Quan Chi, however, says no because he already has all the souls of the dead. How? I could understand him having Sindel's soul since he revived her and all that, but what about the rest of them? Oh, and some of them don't even have the same outfits they wore in the story. Somehow they just randomly change between the cutscenes and gameplay.
You ever wonder if Netherrelm Studios just make shit up? Raiden then finally realizes how he can get the lazy gods to help him. And listen to this stupidity here.
Only through mortal combat may Shao Kahn merge the realms, lest he face the judgment of the Elder Gods. Lest he face the judgment of the Elder Gods. He must win.
Yeah, does that make sense to you? Because it sure as hell doesn't for me. Raiden pisses off back to Earthrealm and Liu Kang shows up just in the nick of time. Raiden explains how they can win, and Liu Kang is not having this bullshit, and he fights off against Raiden. But Liu Kang of course forgot something. This is no longer his chapter, and he now becomes loser. And so Shao Kahn arrives.
I am Shao Kahn!
Liu Kang tries to attack Shao, but Raiden stops him again, and Liu Kang fires up his fist, but Raiden unleashes his thunder on Liu Kang, killing him. I just have one question for you, Raiden. What the fuck do you think was gonna happen, you stupid bastard? As Raiden mourns for Liu Kang's death, Kahn finally arrives out of the portal which took him one fucking fight to get onto Earth. Johnny and Sonya try to attack Kahn, but get one-shot so easily like the jobbers they are. Raiden greets Shao Kahn, and Kahn also greets Raiden. Well, the Outworld way.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
And then we get a repeat shot of the opening because they need to save the budget, of course. They want to make it so artsy, but like really, we all know what really it is. It's just to save the budget that they really don't use at all. And of course, Raiden's amulet breaks. And just looking back at this, like it might not have been easy to see earlier, but although really it becomes easier once you notice it. Raiden isn't moving much, but I don't know, like he looks like he's just made of stone. Like even with Dark Raiden, his cape isn't moving much, which, oh trust me, we'll be ripping those cape physics later. But also, if your eye is able to notice it, you might notice that suddenly Raiden's amulet just pops off for some reason. No reason whatsoever, it just pops off. Like, really, I don't know how to say it, but like, someone should have noticed this thing in test play, but no, someone thought this was fine. God, this game sucks. Anyway, the Dragon Gods finally show up and power up Raiden. So Raiden faces off against Shao Kahn, and Silver just, please finish this off, I'm taking a break.
Now, lo and behold, one of the most infamous bosses in fighting game history. So, what is wrong with this boss exactly? Oh, everything! The difficulty is so stupidly unfair even for a final boss. Shao Kahn doesn't take much damage, he has too much health, he has super armor, his attacks are unfair, and he's a freaking cheater! How exactly? Well, the AI controlling Shao Kahn is somehow able to predict the player's moves and counter them. And need I mention that while Raiden's attacks are basically useless against Shao Kahn, Shao Kahn's attacks cut down Raiden's health very quickly. Remember back in my 06 review when I said the Iblis Worm boss was the worst boss in video game history? Well, I take that back because this boss takes the cake, because it is impossible and unfair. Even with Shao Kahn's weakness being that he taunts the player, it's still impossible because he's so hard to damage and he cuts down your health very easily. Fuck. Fuck! Fuck! Shit! Bitch! Damn it! Why? Damn it! Damn you! Fuck! Ah! You know what? Fuck this boss! Fuck this boss fight! I can't beat this game, it's actually unfair! So you know what? Here's the ending. Raiden loses to Shao Kahn, he takes over the world, merging Earthrealm and Outworld, and kills everyone including Johnny, Sonya, Quan Chi, Batman, Shrek, Bugs Bunny, Heisenberg, Bugs Bunny again, Lightning McQueen, Sonic the Hedgehog, Joker, and the Furious Five. He then heads back to his little farm where he happily retires and all of the hero's efforts were for nothing. Because Dark Raiden was an absolute dickhead. The end.
Plural, bitch!
Wait a sec. That's not how it ends, Silver.
Of course this is the ending. Trust me, you don't need to go back and check it. It's not worth it.
You know, Silver, if it makes you feel better, I could do it. I know my stuff, so let me show you how it's done. This won't take fuck, piece of shit, you motherfucker, I'll kill you, you dick, fuck, damn it, shoot, damn, not here, holy fuck, this guy's impossible, I can't beat him again as Raiden. You know what, Silver, you're right, this boss fight is complete bullshit. I mean, there's certainly worse. Let's just move on, like, it's not worth our efforts at, wait, is that a difficulty option?
There's an easy mode?
This is difficulty mode!
You know what? You know what? Fuck this. We're going easy mode because fuck this stupid game. Fuck you, Netherrelm Studios. Go to hell.
Or here's a better idea. Why don't we go on beginner's mode instead?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Sure. Why not? This piece of horse shit doesn't even deserve our full effort. Let's do this. Raiden spanks Kong and still is not down yet. Khan attempts one more attack and he sends the Elder Gods to bite Shao Kahn like they are dogs. I mean, they're dragons, like, what? Anyway, Shao Kahn is gone and Raiden's amulet somehow recovers even though it was broken earlier. It was shattered. I don't know how the hell this game works. And with Sonya and Cage left, they head off, but then Quan just grabs Quan grabs Shao Kahn's helmet, and shocker, it was Quan Chi's plan all along to get rid of Shao Kahn, so that his master Shinnok can begin their plan for next time.
I still like my ending better.
So, that was the story of Mortal Kombat 2011, and it was a complete piece of shit.
I know, right? Everyone in the story who isn't named Johnny, Quan Chi, and Melina is an absolute idiot, including Raiden, who is essentially the main character of the game. He's supposed to be a wise god, but instead he makes the most stupidest decisions imaginable, such as not telling his past self who must win, letting Johnny and Jax fight each other for no reason, letting Sub-Zero getting turned into a cyborg, trying to convince Katana to gain intel leading to her almost being executed, letting Kung Lao die, letting nearly everyone else die in Nightwolf's chapter, trying to stop Liu Kang from killing Shao Kahn by hitting him directly with deadly lightning, killing him, and above all else, having blind faith in a bunch of assholes who do nothing but sit on their asses all day and let everyone kill each other and invade other realms. If you can't even make your main character think straight, then your story is not going to work. It's gonna be an absolute train wreck.
Same goes for the villain. Yeah, we already ripped him apart, but again, it's worth reiterating that he does not really show much intelligence. He is stupid and very much pathetic. Really not a good thing that possibly one of the most iconic fighting game bosses, the most frustrating one I should add, is somehow a pathetic motherfucker who also has lacking of brains. Yeah, it kind of fits that both Raiden and Shao Kahn are not really the brightest people, but still. It's not a good thing that your main villain is that. And keep in mind, there are characters out there who are not the brightest, but still are much more tolerable, like Goku. Goku! And again, I'm just saying this because I don't know many dumb villains, but I'm just saying that you can have a protagonist who isn't the brightest, but could still be a great character, like I said, Goku. But Raiden, no. Just no. Someone should have just stopped the writers at this point. And just to make it worse for Shao Kahn, Quan Chi, who is more like a secondary villain, is much smarter than him. If you somehow make your secondary villain much smarter than your main villain, then I don't know how to say this, but you've just fucked up a big time, fools. Then of course we already mentioned it, but some of the characters' deaths are really absolutely worthless. It's not a good thing when that's the case. Like, the deaths should have some emotional impact. Shadow dying in Adventure 2, and the characters from Danganronpa, they feel much more impactful. Even if, yes, Shadow did come back in future games, it's at least that moment felt impactful. But Netherrelm Studios didn't seem to get the message. Clearly they did not.
Yeah, when a kid's game can make a death feel more emotional and impactful than an adult game full of gore and violence, then clearly you're doing something very, very fucking wrong. And not to mention that Sonic Adventure 2 came out 10 years before Mortal Kombat 9.
Of course, there's also the fact that the power scaling is just absolutely horrible. We already stated it, but it is worth stating again. It's not really a good thing that your plot just keeps on having the character's power scaling just change all willy-dilly. Like, for one moment, Raiden could get his ass kicked, but then the next moment he'll suddenly become very powerful, only just to then suck a few seconds later. It's not a good thing if that's the case. Every character should at least show their capabilities and powers, but it only feels like sometimes that the Elder Gods just decide who gets to win and who gets to be a loser. Does it really make sense here? Because I hope it does, because I'm not here to reiterate stuff. And just really, the chapter system is limited, and you just remove the chapter system, you really get more freedom. And this is something that Capcom, Bandai Namco, and even Arc System Works realize, yeah, that system is stupid. We're not gonna do that. I mean, just to make it clear, Arc System Works, when they did BlazBlue, they had it, but it doesn't work the same how it does in Mortal Kombat 9. At least it somewhat works because it's under the character's perspective. But still, they realized that this was a bit of an issue because it was complicated, and so when Chrono Phantasma, the third BlazBlue game, they kind of realized, yeah, this is not a good idea and stick with one singular story. But they were also smart enough to know that, yeah, you don't do something as stupid as a chapter system from Netherrelm Studios. They just go when you need to fight, when you have to fight, and they choose which characters you have. Doesn't really matter because also there's the fact that really Shao Kahn, again, doesn't really feel that much of a powerful opponent when literally he's supposed to be. Yet compared to villains such as Hazama and, you know, Bison from Street Fighter and BlazBlue respectively, these two feel more like legit threats because the story acknowledges that they are. And just the last thing that really I think isn't the best part about this game is characters, really. I want to make it clear that not every character sucks. Not in terms of like power skill, we already talked about that, but more in terms of personality. Look, we already talked about how Shao Kahn and Raiden is dumb as fuck. We're not going through this again. In my opinion, the most important thing about Raiden, or at least getting the character, is not about what they are, but who they are. What makes them tick? What makes them scared? What makes them want to punch someone in the face? And I'm just saying, that's what I think is the most important thing. Because then again, you have games such as BlazBlue, a fighting game that doesn't really have big cutscenes but has visual novel-like elements, but yet most of the characters in BlazBlue, I would say, have more personality than the cast of, you know, Mortal Kombat 9. Even though the cast of BlazBlue at the time of Mortal Kombat 9's release was much smaller. You know, proving that fact that, again, just because you're gonna publish a game from a big company doesn't mean you're better. You know, somehow the color error writers can actually make the Sonic characters feel different, even if they're in the wrong characters. I just can't say this enough, but if you somehow fail at making your characters feel different from these games, well, I have to say it, but congratulations, you officially screwed up, because there's no better words to say about the game's story. It's official Mortal Kombat 9 story mode. You suck!
So as for the voice acting, it's fine overall, I guess. None of the voices feel like that they don't fit the characters, but none are that interesting either. With the exception of, you guessed it, our boy Johnny. If I had to pick the worst voice in the game, it would without a doubt be Shao Kahn. His voice just doesn't sound threatening at all. It sounds so uninteresting and boring as hell.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm really disappointed here. Most other fighting games, and I really mean most other fighting games, you know, good ones, you know, have the right idea to actually have voice acting, you know, during the gameplay. Not just only the story, but really, Mortal Kombat has, it's kind of disappointing. It feels just like, just grunts going like, ugh, ugh. Most of the time you do hear a character voice act, it's possibly more just in the story mode, which kind of is sad. That said, I do want to make clear that I do have some favorites. My favorites would be Scorpion, Johnny Cage, and Mileena. I would say Raiden, but not to sound rude, but Richard Epcar is a fantastic voice actor. He's really good. There's just one teensy tiny little problem. He doesn't really fit Raiden. Like, yeah, I know Raiden's supposed to be the wise god, but like, as we clearly illustrate, this one is a fucking idiot. He's a stupid idiot, so really, it's not gonna work. But then again, it should be mentioned, he does a killer Joker. Not to say that he is the best, because Mark Hamill's really good, but Richard Epcar, he has a good Joker voice, he really does. He's also known for playing as Joseph Joestar in Part 3 and Part 4, Akuma from Street Fighter 5, Geese Howard from Tekken 7, and get this, he plays this guy in Persona 5, who is the principal of the school. Kinda looks like an egg, it's kinda hilarious.
So yeah, Richard Epcar is a pretty talented voice actor, and in my opinion, he does a pretty good job as Raiden in this game. The problem is, of course, is that Raiden in this game is written horribly, and he's a fucking idiot. So none of this is really his fault. He does the best with what he's given.
Then we have Scorpion. He's voiced by Patrick Stives, one of my favorite voice actors in the business. And just to say it, he does a good job. I mean, Scorpion, for the most part, I think he kind of stands out. Oh, but you want to know something else? There's also another fight game he does. He does a fantastic job in, and you want to guess what that game is called? It's called BlazBlue, bitches. He voices as Ragnar the goddamn Blood Edge. He's that reason I love Ragnar. Patrick Stives, of course, just brings life to Ragnar, and well, it's not to say that he does a bad job to Scorpion, like I said, he does a good job. Scorpion does feel legit alive, and you know, I just found the irony of this. Keep that in silver. But aside from, of course, Mr. Blood Edge, he also voices as Dio, another JoJo voice actor. And, well, worth mentioning, he also voices Nekomaru Nidai from Danganronpa 2, Gamagori from Kill la Kill, and aside from questioning why was he in Team Sonic Racing, I don't know why Sabak was there, I don't know why he took it, but he clearly did that. And in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, aside from Scorpion, he also voices Deathstroke and Shao Kahn, one of the half of Dark Kahn. And, well, there's a few more I could go on about, but wait a sec, am I saying that right? Plays someone from GTA 5, one of the local populace.
Kitana and Mileena are voiced by Karen Stressman, who's also known for playing Rouge the Bat. and a character from Castlevania Judgment, who I don't remember the name of. She does a pretty good job as both Katana and Melina. Also, Johnny Cage is played by Jeff Pilson, and yes, he's the best Johnny voice, no questions asked.
He's just the best Johnny Cage voice. There's no questions about it, he's just the best. Like, 10 out of 10, like, I mean, yeah, he didn't show up in the next game that Johnny would be in, but like, I'm pretty sure most people are gonna remember Jeff Pilson more than, well, not to sound rude to the new voice actor, because he also does a good job, but I don't know, Jeff Pilson. You nailed it. A 10 out of 10.
And Jamieson Price would have been perfect as Shao Kahn, but no, you give him Bihan. Okay then. But he is very good as the announcer, so there's that, I suppose.
We have gone this far, so let's talk about the gameplay.
Finally, I almost forgot that this is a video game. So first off, I'm just gonna say, I'm not that much of a fighting game guy.
You're not much of a video game guy either. You know, why don't you just review movies instead?
Well, video games are easier to make longer videos about, and they don't get copyright claimed. Most of the time.
Fair point.
So I guess you all know how a fighting game works. You're pitted against another opponent, you cut down their health until it reaches 0. And you do whatever it takes to make sure your health does not reach 0. Simple and easy concept to understand. Some fighting games such as Smash Bros have simple enough mechanics that anyone could pick it up and get good at it easily. Games like Street Fighter and BlazBlue are a little more complex.
Unless you're a pussy! And naturally because people bitched about the 3D era games and Netherrelm Studios wanted to do 2D fighters. Well, it's a 2D fighter.
So in terms of your moveset, you got 4 buttons to attack, 2 are for punching, 2 are for kicking, and you've got a block button.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Did you just say there's a fucking block button?
Yes?
Who in the absolute fuck would think of putting a block button in a 2D fighter? That is stupid. Hypothetically, very stupid. Like, I don't know how to say it, but like, the only fighting games I accept to have a block button is platform fighters, and you know, pretty fighters. But somehow, Netherrelm Studios just thought, oh no, let's put a block button there. I don't care if it's there since day one. I don't care! It's pointless! You just go back, that's it. Simple. Oh, you want to know the best part? You want to know the best part? They decided to just throw that block button for the Injustice game, so what's the point of it anyway? There's 3 more buttons. We'll talk about them later. Why is there many laters in this script? You know, playing Mortal Kombat 9, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like Street Fighter. And it feels like it was a Street Fighter game that has a bit of SNK-like stuff, but, you know, they decided to throw away style and, you know, good stuff with blood and gore, and that's it. Oh, I'm so enjoying the fact that they're spilling a ton of blood. It's so nice. It's not like these guys were dead already. So yes, basically, the 3D games look more interesting, and the 2D games look boring as fuck.
So when it comes to video game genres, fighting games aren't exactly my go-to ones because of command inputs. You see, to do certain moves, you have to press several buttons in very quick succession.
Oh, come on, Mega Silver. It is easy to do Raiden's lightning bolt. It's just, it's down, back, square, or X for you. Oh wait, no, that's for me. Fuck.
Sure, some inputs are easy enough to pull off, but others require you to push like 5 buttons in the right order at the speed of light after drinking like 5,000 cans of Red Bull!
Man, you have the slowest fingers ever then.
Screw you.
Don't feel too bad. I sucked at fighting games too.
But you're not in hell.
What?
You're not in hell, remember? You're in Earth.
Oh, right. See ya!
You can grab by pressing the RB/R1 button, and by pressing L2/LT you can change the direction in which your character is facing. Excuse me for 1 second. What the fuck?! Why is this even a thing? Apparently it's actually called a stance switch, but it doesn't even qualify as such. It doesn't even change your fighting style. It doesn't help you dodge an attack. It doesn't even give you any sort of tactical advantage. It does nothing!
You lose! Good day, Netherrelm Studios. If there's one thing I could say, it's this. Make it a taunt button, you fucking brain-dead imbeciles. You know, I don't know how to say it. Like, I mean, yeah, you may think a Tompunen's worthless, but I don't know. At least you can express characters, but no, Netherrelm Studios just proves that there's so much of dumbassness.
And to make it even worse,
it's in every fucking Netherrelm Studios games!
So one of the new additions to this Mortal Kombat game is the meter. Well, technically Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe also had a meter, but it works very differently here. You see, you got 3 bars in your meter, and you can gain the first one by landing the first hit on your opponent in the first round. Otherwise, it builds up as you take damage, basically as the fight progresses. So the first meter gives you enhanced special moves which can be pressed while pressing the block button and using a command input. The second meter gives you a combo breaker, and with all 3 bars you can do an X-ray attack, which is the biggest selling point of this entry in the series. I'm not kidding, it's even advertised on the back of the box. So the X-ray attacks are pretty much like super moves where the characters use their strongest attacks against their opponents.
However, unlike other fighting games, instead of like just showing it like with normal colors, they turn into a grayscale. Which I will admit, that is nice, but it's not hard to say that sometimes they screw it up. Other than that, I would say, yeah, they're fine, but is it just me, or does some of these attacks kind of feel like most of these characters would die actually from them?
Shimoda, you know that this is just a video game, right?
Oh? Okay, fair point. A counterpoint, fatalities.
Striker wins. Fatality.
So this wouldn't be Mortal Kombat without the fatalities, right?
True, but here's the problem. You see this graph? This shows Scorpion, Kratos, and the DLC characters have some good fatalities. Some really great ones. Here's the stage fatalities, they're like a mixed bag, and here's everyone else. They either get 0 or 1 good fatality. So, a conclusion of, they suck like ass.
So since we already made an entire video on the fatalities because we were bored and hate ourselves, we're just gonna mention a few of them that we feel should be brought up, and we will keep it as brief as possible.
So first off, these fatalities are literally combinations of 2 fatalities, like 2 old ones, and needless to say, they work like jack shit. Well, it's not that they don't look bad, I mean, cause they're disgusting as fucking hell, like, ew, why? Why do you do that? But at the same time, I ask you the question, Ed Boon, like why? Why would you do that? Why would you combine 2 fatalities? Just, why would you do that?
Oh, you wanna know how lazy they were with the fatalities? A lot of them are just ripped straight out of Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Jax literally just uses Superman's carrot punching finisher, with the addition of kicking his opponent's head off, because it has to qualify as a fatality. Shang Skunk turns into a fucking clown and copies Joker's fatality from MK vs. DCU, because that makes sense. And oh, those are the only 2 ripped from that game.
Oh, one more thing. There's a little problem with every character except for him. It's that every character has the exact same reaction for being killed. For example, in Pest Control, everyone runs around in circles like a fucking idiot. Shang Tsung's second fatality where he just pulls his opponent's heads off, even though some of them have hats. You know, Netherrelm Studios, you could have let those hats disappear or just throw them out. They have like no variation. There's no unique reaction depending on which character gets killed by which.
You know, for starters, they could have animated some characters putting their arms up as they're about to get crushed. You know, like this. Or they could have animated some characters running away from Ermac instead of in circles because, you know, it would be the more logical thing to do. I mean, it would have decreased their chances of getting crushed, even if it wouldn't work. But no, they have to run around in fucking circles because it totally makes more sense.
Oh, and there's also babalities. They suck. The opponent turns into a baby, they try to attack, fail, and then start crying. Does that make any sense to you? No? Trust me, it doesn't make sense to me either. Like, one moment you're an adult man and you want to kill someone, and the next moment you fail and you just turn into a baby. How the hell does that make sense? It doesn't. I'm not laughing at this joke, I'm laughing at you for thinking that was funny. Because you're not funny. You're stupid, Netherrelm. You're stupid.
Also, these so-called babalities are supposed to be funny. They're not funny. They're cruel.
Oh, but the worst part is that you have to join the occult, Dad! You have to just join the adult cult, because if you want to do these fatalities, you gotta do this secret ritual. It goes something like this. You gotta beat your opponent up, be in the right distance, and make sure you remember the command puts. Now, that doesn't sound that bad. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. Does it? Does it? It sucks. Like, look, I mean, I have fun. I've been getting used to it. Yeah, but it still sucks. Like, you have to get to the right distance. The right distance just to do it. Oh, but no, but then there's characters like Freddy, and one of his fatalities allows you to do anywhere. Yeah, no, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go to hell. Here's my middle finger. It's waving right at you. Oh, and don't hit your opponent, because if you do, the match is over and you can't do it. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, big surprise, I have to agree. The fatalities are so hard to pull off since, once again, you have to remember what inputs to use, what order to do them in, what distance you have to have, and you can't hit the opponent when doing it. Oh, and you're under a time limit.
Oh yeah, and for you people who get the base game, well, good luck, because you're gonna have to unlock the second command puts for those second fatalities. That is stupid, considering the fact it was released in 2011 and, you know, the internet existed. But what if you want to play two characters in this game? Oh, well, I mean, I don't know why you're still thinking this game is going to be for you, but, you know, this game has you covered. It has tag team as an option. We already mentioned how it sucks in the story mode, but, you know, there is a separate mode where you and your buddies can play. Up to 4 people can torture themselves to play this game. I will admit, it's nice playing this. It's nice playing with my friends. It's kind of great, and even though most of them are noobs and don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I can definitely agree on that. Even when the command inputs are complex, even when the animations are terrible, we'll get to that later, even when the blood looks flat or even like jelly, I believe that despite all that, Mortal Kombat is actually pretty fun when you're playing with friends.
But aside from multiplayer, there's a ladder! Or in other words, an arcade mode. Basically, you beat a bunch of people up. You know, it's random, but for the last few fights, you'll be up against Shang Tsung, Goro, and Shao Kahn. And once you beat Shao Kahn, whoever was the one to defeat him, well, you get an ending. It's an animated slideshow. I know, it's crazy, right? With a K.
Then we have the challenge towers. They aren't really that fun. They're kind of like Event Smash from Melee, Brawl, and Smash for the system I never had as a kid. So what exactly do you do in these challenge towers? Oh, it's simple. You complete challenges. That are bullshit. Oh, and don't even get me started on challenge number 9. In this challenge, you have to defeat a bunch of Barakas before they reach you. So basically, it's a deadly game of tag. And the timing is so unfair. And the big ones are especially a bitch to deal with. But if there's anything good about this challenge, it's undoubtedly Jax's scream when he gets tagged. There's also training mode, which, okay, it's there, it exists, you can practice fatalities, which does not make the process of pulling them off any less annoying, and that's about it. Not much else to say, honestly. We also have the crypt, where you can unlock stuff, such as how to do a fatality? I mean, sure, I guess you could learn new fatalities using this method, or you could, you know, use the fucking internet? Did they seriously not think that we would think to go on our computers and look up the fatalities online?
Oh, but don't worry, you'll get costumes if you have the original edition, but in the complete edition, well, you can possibly kiss that achievement goodbye. You can kiss that achievement goodbye. I mean, I haven't tried it, but I'm not going to try it anyway. I don't care.
There's also concept art for like the character fatalities, the stage, some of the character designs and renders, the damage models, and the music, and oh, before I forget, there are jump scares.
What?
Netherrelm Studios, do yourself a favor and fuck off!
In the crypt, there is a thing called Necropolis. It allows you to view the aforementioned character renders, damaged versions, character bios, and their endings. Which brings us to...
Presentation!
So now let's talk about the presentation. Starting with the positives.
There are none.
But what about the character models, Silver?
Oh yeah. Now although the models in later games would look ugly as fuck, the models in this game actually look pretty decent for the most part. The costumes look pretty cool.
I have to agree, Silver, the character models look good in this game. Which, you know, the Injustice models make Bubsy look good.
Nope! We're not there yet.
And the costume designs are, you know, looking the best they can. Possibly the best in the series, with some of the alts looking good and some... no.
Yeah, I think some characters like Raiden could use a cape. Fuck! Go back! Go back! Go back! Go back! Go back! So, as you can see, the cape and coattail physics in this game are... how do we put it? They are ass! They feel like they're completely ignoring the laws of gravity and they float around like they're on the freaking moon. Though the only character that wears a cape in this game is Raiden, and that's on one of his alternate costumes. So they kind of somewhat dodged a bullet here, but not really at the same time. But you want to know what makes this worse? Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe has better cape physics than this game. Yeah, we know this game was in the Midway era, but it's still the same Mortal Kombat development team. So how did they screw up the cape physics here? But anyways, Netherrelm Studios, fix your cape physics!
Oh, let's not forget the absolute worst offender of Mortal Kombat 9's physics engine. The hair physics. Let me just ask you this question. Have you ever seen someone's hair just work not correctly? Like Katana's hair, like Sindel's hair, or anyone with a ponytail? Yeah, basically think of that, but now it's 10 times worse. It looks absolutely horrible. It's like someone spilled coffee on their computer, and then they try to fix it with the game.
It offends me that this game has this, and it gets a 9 out of 10. Then by that logic, Bubsy 3D should be a work of art. It should be getting over 9,000 out of 10. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Why are the hair physics so fucking horrible in this game? That is not how hair physics works. Why the fuck does this game have 3 Game of the Year awards?
And as we kind of mentioned a few times, you can notice sometimes in the choreography of, you know, the story mode or the cutscenes, if you want to go by that they suck. The choreography kind of sucks. Sometimes it works, but most of the times with fight scenes, no, they suck. They absolutely suck. So yeah, there's that, but of course, there's one thing a fighting game needs. Possibly more than any other genre. Good fucking animations. If you have shitty animations, well, tough shit. You're gonna have a game that looks really not good.
And in any type of media, whether it be video games, movies, or TV shows, presentation is everything.
Presentation is key, and if you can't fix that, then you can fuck off!
Now, we already mentioned a few instances where the cutscenes, animations, or choreography, if you want to go by, suck. For the most part. This is mostly down to the fight scenes. But then again, most of the time in the story mode, the characters are just standing there menacingly! But I mean, like, it can't be that bad. Like, I mean, maybe the cutscenes suck, but maybe the in-game animations look good. Maybe, nope! Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, no, who do you expect? We've been bashing Netherrelm Studios. Do you think any redeemable quality is coming in? This is just... It's shocking to me that this company, Netherrelm Studios, who is owned by Warner Brothers, have absolutely the worst fighting game animations I've seen in my eyes. Compared to other companies like, you know, Capcom, SNK, Sega, Bandai Namco, hell, even Nintendo and Arc System Works. You know one thing all these other companies have that Netherrelm Studios lack? Come on, tell me guys, tell me, what do you think they lack?
Good presentation!
Thank you, but yes, So far, they've been sucking, and the animation, unfortunately, is the same. Now, I would like to go further in detail with this, but this video is going to get too long, and we'll try and cover it later in Injustice, if we can, of course. But for now, we want to show a bit of a montage. The Kyrex, may you play the montage?
Roger that! Beep!
And this, along with many other reasons, is why Netherrelm Studios suck. Now, we ain't experts on animation, but even I can agree that this is trash animation. I mean, in my eyes, animation is about bringing fictional characters to life, and when it is good, it immerses you into the experience, whether it be a movie, a cartoon, or a video game. Having good animation is a key factor to making a video game or an animated movie look more impressive and immersive. Like, would you really want to sit through Shrek, or Toy Story, or Incredibles, or Kung Fu Panda if the animation was horrible or lazy? Or would you play Uncharted, or God of War, or Spider-Man, or Cuphead, or Mario with lazy animation?
And let's just make it clear. If this continues, if they continue to go this badly, you want to know what will the next Mortal Kombat game look like in, like, let's say, 10 years' time? Yes, folks, that's right. So really, let me ask you again, folks. Do you want a game with horrible animations done by, I repeat, a company with a AAA budget? Sorry, anyone? That's right, I thought so. No one wanted that T-posing AAA fighting game. Now, if you want more in-depth stuff about animation, I would recommend watching ABI of Sugar Punch's video on Mortal Kombat's bad animation. Now, of course, he's talking about future games, but I'm pretty sure it still applies fucking here. Otherwise, bottom line, you suck, Netherrelm Studios. Now, to quickly mention the voice acting. It was already mentioned that it's kind of good in the cutscenes, which is the only good time it's used. Because if it's gameplay, it's empty as fuck. It is so empty that I forgot there is voice acting in this game. A few times, the characters in Mortal Kombat might make a scream, but that's only in fatalities, and we know it kind of has to be there, right? But I mean, otherwise in gameplay, it barely happens, and the only other time you ever hear them is when they do a bunch of gibberish. You can compare a Smash Bros. Game to a Mortal Kombat game, and unfortunately, you'll see the difference so quickly. So you at least hear them, and I mean, you can even hear Pit scream he never learned how to read. There's voice acting in Smash Bros, and they actually used it. Mortal Kombat, you'll hear sound effects. That's the worst part about it. You don't even hear Patrick Swayze ever say, "Get over here." He never says it ever in the games. The only time he ever says it was in the movies, the animated movies. Like, what's wrong, everyone? Like, come on, can you not let Patrick Swayze says, "Get over it"? That would've been fucking cool, and it was cool in the movies, but no, someone at Netherrelm Studios thought, no, we need to keep those stupid classic lines.
Yeah, because Ed Boon just likes his own voice too much.
Not saying he's bad, but come on, at least give a dime to someone. Here's the worst example I thought of, and this is just on the spot, but I just remembered, like, in the story mode, you actually hear Jack say, "Gotcha." I'm pretty sure that's the actual VA saying, "Gotcha." But often in gameplay, I'm pretty sure they're using the voice clips from Ed Boon in Mortal Kombat 2. Maybe it's me, but I'm pretty sure they just reuse voice clips, and it's literally worse when you see Mortal Kombat X. But we'll get to it!
And the music. Here's a list of the good songs on this soundtrack.
Okay, this joke is really getting old!
How are you still in hell? Or wait, are you upstairs?
Yeah, I'm kind of upstairs fixing up my Gundam.
I'm serious, there's not even a single song in this game that I can remember. besides the menu theme.
Okay, so hold on. I want to say this clearly. I think some of the songs are good. There's a catch! This small catch. Someone at Netherrelm Studios did the most stupidest and most retarded thing ever. You want to know what it is? They made it so low that you can't even hear it. It's so hard that you need to be a mouse to hear it. I just can't understand you, Netherrelm Studios. How are you good at screwing yourselves in the dick?
I swear, I'd rather watch Sonic Adventure 2's cutscenes over Mortal Kombat 9's cutscenes. Because at least I can hear the music and somewhat hear the characters talking. In fact, I would take watching cutscenes from Sonic games any day over watching anything Mortal Kombat has to offer. Yes, even 06. So as for the game's extra content, we got some extra characters to play as. Oh boy. Actually, interestingly enough, this is the first Mortal Kombat game, not counting MK vs DCU, to have guest characters. If you have this game on PS3, you can play as the God of War himself, Kratos, who is actually an interesting choice for a fighter in Mortal Kombat. Oops! I actually messed up on that part of the script, and I'm leaving as it is because fuck this game, we spent 6 fucking months on the fucking script!
Kratos, in my opinion, is the most fitting guest character in Morbius. Kratos, in my opinion, is the most fitting guest character in MK history. Because, you know, unlimited rage! Oh, and killing people, I guess. If Kratos wasn't owned by Sony, he can fit in with the MK cast, but, I mean, he fights gods, so yeah, he'll kill Raiden. He'll kill that stupid idiot any day of the week. But, to make it clear, I did not play too much of the PS3 version of Mortal Kombat 9, so I'm gonna make it clear and quick. Yeah, I don't have too much an opinion on Kratos. So, yeah. But still, a fitting inclusion.
And as Shimoda mentioned, with God of War being a Sony exclusive series, Kratos is only available for PS3 owners, so Xbox players were kinda screwed. But unfortunately, if it weren't for Shiva, Kratos would be easily the worst animated character in the whole game, specifically during the fatalities, which we already covered in the Fatality Ranking video on Shimoda's channel.
But Kratos isn't the only extra character in this game. We also have DLC characters. The first DLC character was Scarlet, who is the only newcomer in this game, not counting Freddy and, of course, Iron Sub-Zero. And I'll be honest here, she's kinda pretty cool. She uses blood powers and is powered by blood, which is part of her backstory, which is pretty cool. And, you know, fits well because Mortal Kombat. It's a game about blood and maniacs, you know? Even if the game contradicts it so well. Mortal Kombat. The only thing that really might be cool might be is giving Scarlet a voice.
Shao Kahn wants you dead. You won't be the one to do it. Always belittling me, Kitana.
Okay, no. Go back. I was not asking for that. I was not asking. It's fine. It's fine. As long as they don't screw up her back. Oh, for fuck's sake, did you have to screw up every—
Sorry, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. We're not at that game yet. We will get to it when we get to it.
Newsflash, they're probably going to rip it apart like this one.
In terms of gameplay, she's one of the few characters I play aside from Melina, but some of her specials are cool. And the fatalities, possibly my favorite ones in the game. So, much to say is that I would say Scarlet is one of the best DLC characters in the game. And possibly one of the only ones to not screw up.
Next up, we have Kenshi. Wait a minute, why is he a DLC character? I mean, it makes sense for Scarlet and a certain someone we will get to in a minute to be DLC characters since they're new to Mortal Kombat. But why would you make someone who is playable in Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon, and then make him paid DLC for this game?
Well, Street Fighter V couldn't get every single character from each entry, so they could fit the best they could. And besides, it would have taken forever, you know? Like, do you really think they have the budget? And besides, this game is just trying to be Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Just worse!
Kenshi is a fine enough character, not much to say. He has telekinesis and he's got a sword that's pretty cool. I like swords.
I don't play Kenshin as much, but I mean, he's okay. But you know, after him, we have Rain. Jesus, how many ninjas are in the Mortal Kombat series?
Too many to count. So what makes Rain different from other ninjas in the game? Take a guess.
Here's some hints. A, it's in his goddamn name. B, fire like yellow Sub-Zero. C. I must consult with the Elder Gods. D. This game is fucking garbage. What one do you think it is? If you guessed A, well, here's your prize. Absolutely nothing. Like we couldn't give you anything anyway. Raiden is fine, I don't care. Moving on to our last DLC character, who is another guest character. Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Huh. Kind of interesting that they brought a non-video game character into the game.
It says on Wikipedia that Ryan England voiced Freddy in this game, but I don't see many. I mean, the only possible way he could possibly be voiced by Freddy is in this line where he gets killed by Shang Tsung. Other than that, no, I don't really hear him. I mean, he just makes some sounds. He doesn't really talk. So I don't see this as a Freddy. See, this is why I told you this game's voice acting sucks!
Like I said, Freddy being a character from outside of video games, he's probably the most interesting newcomer in my opinion. And he's pretty cool to play as. But, there is one problem with him. He's wearing claws on both hands, whereas his movie counterpart only wears them on one hand, which we learned from 5 seconds of glancing at Google. Yep, neither of us are familiar with Nightmare on Elm Street, but come on, this is a pretty big fuck up. I bet we would be even more pissed off if we were actually fans of the franchise, but still, this makes me believe that Freddy's development time was rushed.
I'm pretty sure it's the same case if we were talking about earlier. Anyway, aside from DLC characters, they added DLC costumes of classic ninjas in 4 separate packs, even though it's free. I have a question. Why are they not 1? It would make more sense, Netherrelm Studios, but just think, Netherrelm Studios. Think! And they added 3 classic fatalities. 1 for Sub-Zero, 1 for Scorpion, and 1 for Reptile. I think I'm starting to see an issue.
So the only DLC costumes that were added to the game were the classic costumes. Now, I would never usually complain about something that is free, but in this case, I don't care. I'm gonna complain about anything I want in this stupid game, because I want to. The classic costumes are literally just ninja costumes. Just like the default costumes, but with less detail and horrible eyes.
It pisses me off that Netherrelm Studios literally just adds the classic designs, even though they made new designs for the ninjas for this game. They are more interesting, they add a bit more character for what little these characters have, and make them unique. But no, Netherrelm Studios decides to add it because let's use the power of nostalgia, because that will always work. And it just gets worse in every single game afterwards. It just gets worse, and they keep adding it in as DLC, and I just have to ask you, Netherrelm Studios, what is the point? You keep adding them in as DLC. Oh, people say there's no repeat. Yeah, you see the repeat DLC. Fuck off. Let's just close this batshit game anyway now. I want to get done with this game forever in my life.
Yes, same. So that was Mortal Kombat 9 from 2011, and what do we think of this game? This game blows!
Oh boy, there's probably going to be a lot of people saying that our opinion is wrong.
Now, remember, opinions aren't facts. They are subjective. If you like this game, that's fine. That's totally cool. We won't see why, but you are entitled to like this game if you feel like it. And we are also entitled to dislike this game if we want to.
From my perspective, I say this game isn't really special compared to other fighting games, except it has blood, oh boy. But there's also Samurai Showdown. It has blood, but that's not the point. Mortal Kombat 9 is fine to play, but it doesn't feel fine. Like, it plays fine, but it doesn't feel good to control at all.
I mean, with this game being from a AAA studio, and let's not forget being backed by Warner Bros, or Warner Bros Games to be more precise, you would assume that they would use the budget to put effort into making this a quality experience. But no! As we said, the animations are horrible, the story mode is awful, and the fight against Shao Kahn is so unfair!
The challenge tower is really stupidly difficult, because why not? The physics are just an eyesore, like, why was this approved? And the story makes me want to just Persona Tree myself. And the animation. No! No! And while, yes, Shao Kahn is difficult if you're playing as Raiden, anyone else it's not that hard, it is still stupid that they made him so goddamn bullshit into place. He's like an SNK boss. not as bad, but he is still not that good. And keep in mind, this game was made in 2011, and this didn't have an arcade port. So what was your plan exactly? But there are positives, but by very little. The character designs for most of them are really good. The music is nice, but you still can't hear it, you have to turn it up. And as usual, playing a fighting game with some friends. It's pretty nice. Even if I'm playing with these guys, who aren't really that good, but hey, at least I got company.
While this game does almost everything wrong from the story to the presentation, I kinda have fun playing it with other people. I don't know, I guess playing this game with friends does make this game fun to laugh at for its incompetent animation and stupid cape physics. But outside of the multiplayer mode, this game is just not fun at all. Especially the challenge towers. Those can fuck right off! And on a sort of unrelated note, this game almost killed my PS3.
Say what now?
Yeah, the game got stuck in the disk drive and I was so legitimately pissed off that I actually threw the game case on the ground really hard. Luckily I got the disc out and my PS3 is still working just fine, but I am still really mad that that happened.
So, you wanna get a refund for this game?
No, I've got a better idea.
Oh look, a destroyed copy. What was my last plan? You're not worth my time.
Oh my god!
Trash! Let me hold this down. Oh boy, here we go, Wait, hold on, he hasn't recorded yet. Wait, hold on.
Okay, Mortal Kombat 9 or 2011 or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Time for you to go to hell! Time for you to go to hell!
Retro, you wanna go? You wanna go with this?
You are not Spyro.
To conclude this, yeah, we have just destroyed this game. And needless to say, I think we're all happy right now. Or at least most of us, right?
You are a pathetic piece of shit protagonist. Here's the cover art. Who wants the honors of shredding the cover art?
Wait.
So, what is the moral of this Mortal Kombat 9 review? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Haven't you been watching the whole fucking video?
Here are my final thoughts on this game.
Well, that was a load of shit.
Let me make it very clear. It is not worth your money whatsoever. I would not recommend getting this game. But if you somehow want this, despite what we've been telling you, well, you could get the PS3 version, and well, yeah, you get Kratos with it. That's cool. You can get the PS Vita version. Wait, isn't that dead? And you can get it on Xbox 360, but you can also get it for Xbox One and Series X. Bear in mind, only physically. You can only use the disc. For some reason, you can't download it digitally. Which, yes, means Series S users don't get to have a chance with it whatsoever. And if you want to get it for PC, it's gone. It's literally gone. It was removed. It was removed a few years back. So probably for the best that you never got a chance to play it.
And probably for the best that Series S users don't get a chance to play this piece of shit. Okay, so this is the part where there was supposed to be an ending with Gmod, but because we couldn't get it to work, yeah, this is where the review is ending. So, thank you guys for watching. If you watched this the whole way through, good on ye. Thanks very much. Shimoda and I are very grateful for that. If you just skip through the video, I can't say I blame you, honestly, but yeah, I guess you could say Shimoda and I are just glad to finally have this review done, so yeah. So once again, thank you for watching this long-ass review. We hope you enjoyed it. And Shimoda, remind me to sew Retro's mouth shut next time he even thinks about teasing one of my reviews before it's even finished!
Back in 07, I was in an unsuccessful TV show. I'm BoJack the Horseman. What the hell was I thinking, bro? When you're an artist, yeah, it's hard to play it safe. That show stumble hard right at the starting gate. Wonder if I'm ever gonna get another chance. Indian whiskers blew it bad. Yeah, I'm not a horse, I'm an ass.
So, you're probably wondering how he got out of hell. Well... Hey Silver, look, a spring!
1 minute later.
Retro!
Seymour!
Hey, do you have any screwdrivers? I need them to build my Gundam.